Today's episode is directed by Alex Kurtzman. Now the credits say it's some guy named Mike, but it starts off with
Damn gyrodyne, damn thruster array. Damn thruster array, watch your mouth.
And the internet told me only New Trek does that. The internet would never exaggerate, cherry pick, or outright lie about something like that. But on to the plot. Cisco and friends are having a rough old time after they almost exploded in the last episode. Old habits die hard, so they keep exploding in this one. We learn that Dax is either much heavier than she looks, or the Jem'Hadar are very lax building codes. Bashir straight up lies to her in just an early example of the cruelty of these officers as the ship hurtles toward Los Angeles. On the surface we meet the brave Dominion soldiers, including MacLeod III. They had a bad time in their family outing, as his father and grandfather MacLeod I and II were both killed. But Third Ramadan is committed to his duty despite this tragedy, resolving to protect this world for his people. Elsewhere on the shore, the crew is all washed up. Garak won't give Nog a moment's rest after he nearly drowns, and Captain Sisko and Neely mock their co-workers' misfortune. Meanwhile, in space, Kira made some new friends at school, and that's about all that's happening there. Meanwhile, on the planet, the Vorta Kevin speaks of hope and gives Ramadaklan his dinner. In a damp cave somewhere, Sisko continues the trend of lying to the spotted lady, while the doctor laughs at her. The crew is concerned about treachery, but before they have a chance to do anything about it, they're invited over by our scaly friends. They're very rude to their host, refusing to tell him anything about themselves. Kevin tries to be understanding and assures them that he only wants their help. Nog and Garak can't do anything for him though, so he sends his friend out to try and talk to Sisko instead. Back in space, Kira and Yolo show their support for their new friends. When questioned by Jake, they assure him that the Dominion is only interested in friendship with and support of Bajor. But despite the Founders' peaceful intentions, Jake reveals that there's a protest planned for the next day. They're concerned that this might hurt their new friend's feelings, so they go find the Vedic to talk her out of it. In the cave, someone finally notices that Garak and Nog are out past curfew, so everyone goes out to bring them back inside. But they run into the Scaly boys and start shooting. General Scales really did just want to talk, so they go home until Sisko calms down. When they get back, Kevin praises him for his restraint, as he truly doesn't want to hurt anyone. Back in his damp cave, Sisko makes a plan to attack the Jem'Hadar again. He tries to take the doctor with him, leaving his wounded colleague alone in the cave. But just then, Scales comes by to talk to Sisko about getting his men back to him. During this parlay, Sisko tries to manipulate him into thinking his commander and longtime friend Kevin is not to be trusted. Thankfully, he sees through this and offers his honest opinion on their situation, and invites Sisko and Bashir to his home to meet his family. Despite his pain, Kevin immediately introduces himself to his guests, but Bashir rejects his pleasantries. Concerned by his behavior, the Jem'Hadar come closer to make sure he doesn't hurt Kevin. Their concern seems at least reasonably well-founded, as when Kevin wakes up, Bashir shows a distinct lack of confidence in his success. Nonetheless, Kevin survives and talks to the two about his plan. You see, the Jem'Hadar can't survive long enough to be rescued. They'll die painfully of withdrawal first. And so Kevin wants to give them an honorable death while he can, letting them fall in battle. He gives Sisko the battle plan, hoping to minimize casualties while still giving Ramadaklan a good final fight. What Sisko doesn't tell him is that the ship he came in on had a cargo bay full of the substance they need. He won't reveal that until he's captured them and can keep them alive as prisoners. When Sisko gets home, he reveals his plan to take our boys as prisoners of war. Sisko tries to make Ramadaklan go along with this, but vainly. He's too loyal to his people to believe Sisko's manipulation and deception. After the short battle, Kevin comes onto the field. He grieves his lost men, regretting that this mercy killing could have been avoided if only they'd had a little more time. Back on the station, Kira successfully persuaded the Vedic to stop her protest.